kind of on the same page you on. I just want to know the solutions. So if they do all these things they're gonna do to the laws, you know what I'm saying, or you know what I'm saying, the infrastructure, anything they're gonna do in New York, will it help y'all or will it put y'all on a decline?
Well, there's the perception of what the actual crimes and the things that's actually taking place, because some of it's inflated and some of it's actually real. It just depends on where they plan on putting the efforts at, right? Because we're running into a lot of different issues, but only one thing can be tackled at a time. So as far as the whole attacks and what's going on in the subway, believe it or not, it's actually not as big as they make it seem. But because it's being so propagated, it's on the rise now. As far as the money for like the NYPD and things like that, honestly, the way how I look at it, it's just money that they want to ship over to the police department. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I think Adams and the commissioner, they just want to push money over through the police department, who already has been given a lot of money. And again, they're not replenishing police officers. They're not safeguarding a whole lot of places. Like if something happens, their new policy is basically like, if there's an issue, at every other major station or whatever, you can go there and report what happened. The damage is already done. So what if I get stabbed? I gotta go over two stops to reach out to police officers to try to remember what the fuck is happening while I'm bleeding out at the same time. Like, no, of course not. Again, we have a lot of different things that are happening. We have all the migrant issues. We got brothel issues now that's happening in Queens. Not for nothing. I almost thought about going over there just to go taking a look at it myself, but I was like, that's a little sus. It's a little sus. Being that I
So
know how some pimps move too, it's a little
yeah.
sus.
So they finding brothels in New York?
They we've had brothels coming up for like the last 2 years.
Hmm.
And
That's
now with the new influx of people, yeah. I mean, you can go out
mm,
there, you see a lot of Spanish chicks standing out there on Roosevelt. Let me see. I might actually be able to find something about that, and we can cover it. But brothels, I know there's Asians out there because Queens got a lot of Asians as well. I know there are a lot of Spanish people out there now. That's a lot where you get a lot. We have flea markets, like illegal flea markets that are coming up. That's a lot from the migrants that are stealing from stores, they're looting stores, and then they're putting shit out in their flea
yeah.
market. But everywhere is just so busy right now, and again, we don't cops don't have the manpower to be able to take care of it. So, because the moment you catch a couple and you move away, they come back out. And then there was this whole thing that we had with the migrants coming in, is that we weren't allowed. Keep saying we, but cops were not allowed to really arrest them. They're just now beginning to arrest them. They're just now beginning to break shit up, and it's a little too late because, quite frankly, the government is still sneaking people in. We're still getting about 1,000 new immigrants coming from 4 different countries a, a week.
And see with the influx of people that y'all have in there, with the
Mhm.
and with all the stuff that's going on, like you said, with these, you know what I'm saying, basically these bazaars and stuff like that that's being brought up, little plazas. Like it's basically
Mhm.
what I they had this little pop-up shop we had showed. I don't know how the fuck they just open that motherfucker up like that, but they selling all type of trinkets, like you saying, anything that they can steal, anything that they can make, it's just anything they can get their hands on, they sell it. You know what I'm saying? A free
Mhm.
market. So I mean, I see where you coming from with it. I just feel like, bro, that with the influx of people that's there, bro, and the low staff that they got, bro, it's gonna be harder on them, bro. So I mean, even if you do allocate all that money to them, bro, like I said, I got to stick with you on that, bro. It's still not gonna help the problem, bro, because I mean, it don't matter how much money you got, bro, if you ain't got the people to pay. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you need more people in there, and I don't know. That's why I was gonna ask, like, are they willing to take some of these? I hope they ain't adding none of these migrants to the force.
Listen, I hope not. We haven't heard it so far. But when we think about, like, just because so check this out. It's already been recorded that 98% of retailers and grocery stores have been robbed now. I won't say, let me not say robbed. They've been looted now. So nowhere is safe. Retailers, grocery stores, fruit stands, you name it, they all be getting hit. And people don't even look at the long term ramifications of that, right? If grocers are getting hit, then that means they have to boost the price up for the things that are normally being sold, which means it's a hit to inflation. Because now what they should have had, they have to now charge extra in order to try to recoup that money. Then on top of that, you have, like I said, in Queens or some of these other areas, but mainly that market, that bazaar. They're literally stealing this shit from the stores and they're literally selling it out on the corner right in front of that goddamn store that they just sold it from.
That's crazy.
Literally. You have this one, I was looking at this one video, I probably still have it, but this guy had like a whole damn truck and a whole table set up where he was just had nothing but equipment, all kind of like saws, drills, everything, stuff that was like $250. He was selling for like $70. It's crazy out there. It is absolutely insane, and there's not much you can do about it. In fact, one of the new revised policies for New York right now for shoplifters, they instead of let people go back to being able to apprehend and do all the kind of stuff that they want to do to get their goods back, basically to apprehend like they used to. Now the new mandate is you are allowed to try to get back your stuff only against shoplifters who are aggressive. So that means if I choose not to be aggressive with you, but still steal your shit, if I just were to walk out calmly with your shit, you can't do anything to me. It's only if I'm aggressive with you. Now keep in mind, OG, if there's only one exit, one entrance, one exit, and I want to steal your shit, and you bar my path from being able to walk out the door, you are quote detaining me. That is against the law. You are not allowed to impede my path. So long as I don't get belligerent and put my hands on you, you can't do shit to me. How do you fight that?
Shit, don't sound like you can't fight it.
Exactly. And then they turn around and say, well, because the old premise used to be if we put more insurance on our products, then if we lose it, we will be able to recoup it. But no, because now you're losing the product, you're hiking everything up, you're not being able to sell that because that also gets stolen every time you put something new on the floor, and you're also worrying about this cost that you're putting out for the insurance of that stuff. You're not able to manage your products, which is why all these companies closed down.
Yeah, Mayo made a good point in there when he said people don't understand how much the commercial retail insurance doesn't cover them.
I agree. Most people don't recognize that. Like for me to have to see that, I go, you need to have a new plan. But they turn around. Most companies are too busy trying to protect the image that they don't want to see how drastic they need to be. Because I'm like, if you manage, it doesn't look good. Your company doesn't look good if everything has to be basically caged. But I'm sorry, the idea that you want to have, like, say you have a clothing store, the idea that you want to have a table with all your shirts and your pants out, it's no longer feasible because people are gonna go by and just snatch a whole shit of shirts and run out the door. And keep in mind, you're not allowed to bar them because if you're barring it, the way how they made detain is no longer apprehensions. Detaining is simply impeding someone from their intended destination. So if they are walking and you get in front of their way, you are quote detaining them.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
You cannot put your hands on them. You cannot snatch the items from them, shit like that, because quite frankly, you're the aggressor. If you chase after them and they run and they do a slip and fall, you are at fault. They can sue you. If they turn around and say, I was just trying to get away and I slipped and fell, you're at fault. Do not chase. That's how a lot of the retailers have their security departments set up. Like, so when they turn around and say, well, as long as they're peaceful, you can get the merchandise back. Let me tell you what that looks like, OG. If you see somebody stealing it, you walk up to them and you say, hey, do you plan on paying for that? They go, oh yeah, I was thinking about paying for it. Oh, well, the registers and stuff are over there. Oh, I know, but I think I'm just gonna go out this way. And you sit around and say, well, I can't let you walk out with that shit. And they go, oh, okay, cool. Here you go. And they walk out the door. That's peaceful. That's you getting a recovery. But if they turn around and say, nah, I don't think I'm gonna give you it. I think I'm still gonna go to my car. What are you gonna do about that? You can't stand in their way and you can't snatch the shit. What
That's
else is to be
fucked
done
up.
about it?
Yeah, you really can't do nothing else about it. So would it be against the law anything for you? Well, you can't follow them either, huh? After they vehicle and get their license plate and shit like that.
You're an aggressor.
Yeah,
Well,
that's what I
well,
was trying to add. Yeah,
here's the thing. It depends. So for a lot of places that are in the city, the moment you walk out onto the pavement, that's public. It's public. You don't own the streets. You don't own the sidewalk. It's public. So a lot of companies will say things like, you are not allowed to walk out off the grounds of the store because then you're a liability for things happening to you. We can't we don't have you insured for if something happens to you outside the building. So let's say you walk outside and you like, I'm gonna get a picture of I'll stack a picture of your car and your license plate, and the person gets out and they just, why was
yeah,
you out there?
yeah.
Why was you out there? What can you do about it? You can't say you was doing it for your job. I mean, there are people who've gotten mad and they follow customers out and they get the brakes, beaten off of them and there's not much out there. In fact, they lose their job right afterwards because like why you are following them, you're the aggressor. This happens even on malls. Like a lot of malls have it to that when you have a certain amount of square footage that you have within the mall. So the moment you get out, you're not able to do anything about it. What you're supposed to do is that you're supposed to reach out to either local authorities or the mall staff, and they have to be the ones to chase people down. And let's be honest, by the time you're reaching out to mall security who actually gets to you, that person's long gone.
Oh yeah.
By the time you're calling for local authorities who have to show up to you first to get a description, they're long gone. It's a tough racket right now.
Man, it
And that
sounds like a lose-lose situation, though.
it pretty much is, which is why a lot of retailers, a lot of grocery stores are closing down. But if we have things closed down, right, where are people supposed to get their shit? And this is what I said to somebody, and Mayo hit it on the head. Because this is exactly what I said. You can't buy shit, and they are allowed to check everything. They are allowed to apprehend you, to bar your path and everything. Because literally, you have to have a membership in order to just shop there. You have to have paid money, or at least somebody had to pay money for you to be able to shop there. Because all those memberships come with ID cards. Your picture is on it. So if it ain't you, you ain't buying shit. And if you try to run out the door, there are literally attendants and security who's there, and they are allowed to get their shit back. I think all
Well, let me ask you a question too on that. You know, when they give you these memberships and these ID cards,
Yep.
is it true in they stipulations, bro, on the fine print when you sign up for this shit, bro, that you give your rights over to them, bro, to be searched? Is that in the membership?
So yay and nay. So if you have a place like Costco's, BJ's, Sam's Club, yes, it is already in there saying that you cannot even purchase from them unless you are a member.
Gotcha.
They have it. But if you have places like let's say Target or Walmart, Target, Walmart, things like that, or I'll even say like IKEA, things like that, they have it in their clause, right? But their clause doesn't state that in order for you to purchase from them, you need to be a member. The membership only carries the fact that you can get discount for particular items that are on sale and you use your membership card. But let's be honest, but let's be honest, within a particular state, the way it goes is that the moment you receive a receipt in your hand, that receipt belongs to you. It is your personal property. So let's just say you are a security guard at the door, right? And I got my receipt, and I walk over to you and you say, hey, you mind if I check your receipt to make sure that you have all your items? And I go, here, you have my items. And you look at the items and say, can I have your receipt? And you say, no. And you say, well, I need to be able to cross-reference it. Okay, can I get my items? Cool, got the items. I don't have to give you my receipt because my receipt is my personal property. Well, and if you state the policy, well, the way we have it is that if you use your discount card, our membership card, in order to purchase these particular items, then we have to, we have the right to actually search your stuff. What stopped me from just saying I didn't use the membership card, I just paid out of my pocket?
Right.
What can you do about it? And now I'm allowed to walk right out. Let's just say I'm in a place like Sleepy's, right? I could walk right past you with a whole mattress, and you standing there, you looking at me like, could I see your stuff? And I'm just going right by you with the receipt in hand, like receipt right here, and just walking by. You can't stop me, and it's my receipt. I can actually just tell you the words, no, you are not allowed to see it. If I just show you my receipt and it just says what the company name is on top, I don't have to give you a goddamn thing because the receipt is my property now, unfortunately. Why? Because you don't need to actually have a membership card in order to purchase goods there. If I want to purchase things at full price, I'm allowed to do that. But the way how it works at these places, like like Costco, BJ, Sam's Club, is that it doesn't matter, full price or not. They're a wholesale retailer. You're not allowed to purchase from them unless you're a member. And I think more places like Target, like Walmart, need to invest in getting into that.
Oh, that's already coming. I mean, you go to Walmart right now down here where we is, they're already talking about the members plus thing, and it's already saying that the when you do the self checkout app, it's eventually I already know where they're gonna switch everything over just like Costco's and everybody else. Because it's easier for them to, you know what I'm saying, deter people from trying to steal that way. Like you said, you know what I'm saying? They have you locked in. So I mean, even if you in there, you know what I'm saying, just walking around or something, you know what I'm saying, that's different. But you're not going to try to steal something when you got to uses something that has your ID connected to it or have you connected to it. That's no reason to steal then. You know what I mean? But
Well,
it's still gonna be some
yeah,
dummies out there. You know what I mean?
yeah, because it's the people who are actually doing the right thing that are the people that suffer in the end.
Yeah.
So even if you grab shit, you have no ID, you're still not able to get out the door because literally there's checks and balances. They actually have security guards that are allowed to do their shit. There should be no reason why you should be giving me any fuss whatsoever. It's for you to have goods in your hands. I'm allowed to check you. Point blank. Period. And a lot of places are that are getting ransacked just don't have that. They just don't have it, and that's why they're losing their minds.
Well, let me ask you this. So we have a thing down here in Oklahoma with our dispensaries, bro, that you can't even. We have three sets of doors. Most likely, it's usually two, but most people do three. When you
Okay.
try to walk in, you know what I'm saying, you have a little Floria area where you can come in, sit, you got magazines there. Then you usually have a window or something where you can take somebody's card before you let them back in your establishment. Now I know that'd be a hassle trying to let, I can't even imagine how many people go to Walmart and in these different areas. You some of these places probably flux, you know what I'm saying, 500,000 people. You know what I mean? Like coming through there, 200,000 or something. So you just imagine trying to stop people that's coming in and stop people that's going out. So what if they did have a scan system where you have to scan key, like you know how you go to certain apartment buildings and stuff like that, they give you scan cards, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying,
yeah.
to get through gates, certain things, you know what I'm saying? It only works for certain areas. So they give you scan cards that you have to buy and you scan it to open up the door to open, you know what I'm saying, open up the doors to go in. And then when you get ready to go out, only thing you got to do is to get out the store is scan your receipt. Like just you have a little barcode on there, map that, and the door open, let you out. Would you think they'll do something like that to prevent if it get really, really bad? Because I mean, that's the only solution I can think about, bro, is going to a secured area type base.
It sounds interesting. I can see an aspect of that being used for people. So the issue, like I'm thinking about it in terms of like these wholesale, these retailers. You can't do anything. The way how I look at it is that you can't take the human element out of it because let's just say if I have that receipt right that I scanned, and I'm thinking about it in terms of people who are exiting and entering. So if I have a whole bunch of shit in my cart, right, as long as I purchase something, I get that receipt
Right.
and I can use that barcode in order to open the gate and leave. That receipt cannot categorize everything I have in my cart. It only
Gotcha.
categorizes what I purchased. So I need an eyewitness to be able to go through my shit to say I have what I have.
Yeah.
That's my only issue. You're at some point you're going to need, unless you get AI that's good enough to be able to scan through carts to say that you have everything you have and then the gate opens. We don't really have that. So we need eyewitness testimony.
But see, I was looking at it like
Mm.
uh I was looking at it like so that you have to use a card to get inside the store. So to even come inside the store, unless you walk right behind somebody or something like that, just to sneak inside the store, that'll
Yeah.
be a way for, you know what I'm saying, you to get in. But they'll have you on file. Now, even if you scan, just say you went in there and you thought you was gonna buy a meal, but you changed your mind and said, you know what, I don't want to go here. I want to go to another establishment and buy my food.
Me personally, I don't have a problem with it. But as far as if I had to look at it in terms of compliance, there always must be a point of egress. If let's just say, let's just say I have somebody who's with family, right? And let's just say all the family walks in, someone has a card, all the family comes in. But there's a family member that now wants to leave while the rest of the family's in there. They can't leave because they don't have a scan card to be able to get out. And what if this person is a person who panics or whatever the case may be? We can't have a point that stops people from exiting.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. You know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't trying to go too deep far into it
Yeah, I
because
got
I
you.
was just looking at a way for them to catch people when you know they going there and they only just say if they went there and bought a candy bar and they use that candy bar to get up out of there, but you seen them on camera stealing. Now you don't have to worry about knowing who this person is. You know exactly who they is. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
it's preventive ways of doing stuff because, like I said, people are gonna try to outsmart the system. That's the that's the thing about it. It don't matter what you come up with, a thief is going to try to, or a person who likes to scam or anything in that area, they are always trying to get over on the business because they
I,
feel like they
I
can.
agree.
You know what I'm saying?
I
So,
I agree. I don't have a problem with it because even males make it to the point. And I agree they can't leave with the products. The
yeah,
thing is that there's a very thin line because now the question is once the person can't leave the product, the question becomes what do you do? And the reason why I say it like that is because if the person becomes aggressive, right, are you going to get yourself injured? as an employee for the actual merchandise, we don't know the desperation of these people. I can tell you, as someone who, before I got into the real compliance part of it, when I used to work in the safety security department, I used to be loss prevention and shit. I've dealt with a lot of different situations. I've had a woman try to hit me with frying pans. I've had a guy who popped out 2 needles when he got cornered and said, "I got HIV," and I told him, your life will go from a time frame to ending today if you touch me with that shit." There were things that, if you get injured on the job, right? Keep in mind you're still an employee, and no one is covering you really for the fact that you're throwing yourself in harm's way. While you're saying you have to apprehend, I don't even know why that's still a thing, especially in this age. 'Cause a lot of companies are moving away from that. But the idea is that if you get injured, you are quite frankly within your rights to sue because they're putting you in a dangerous situation. I've had a gun pulled on me. Do you really want to put yourself in that situation over, let's just say, a candy bar?
No, sir. No, I get exactly what you're saying. Like I say, it's. I was just thinking of the same because we run into those same problems, bro.
Mhm.
Like CCD said in the chat, bro. It could be a fire hazard, but he got to
Correct.
realize too, bro. You're talking about something that even when you walk to Walmart, a Walmart door opens up, bro. When hazardous stuff happens, they automatically open up, bro. So I mean, I'm not trying to sit here and say a company can. I'm not trying to hold nobody inside of a store. I'm only looking to prevent them from trying to recoup something they can't recoup, which
I
is
get, I get.
you see what I'm saying? And
No, I get
and
it.
we ran into that same problem, bro, in different places I worked at, and you know what I'm saying. Even when I got into the dispensary world, bro, it's you talking about people coming there and trying to walk out with the little bittiest thing. You be like, this nigga came in here, nigga, 3, 4 times. This nigga stole
Yep.
3 lighters, bro. What the hell? You came here just to talk, but you walk out with a lighter. I'm watching you on the camera, bro. Like, and this
Yeah.
the type of stuff that you see, and you still talking about somebody who got to come in with a card. Like, you can come in one part of the store, but you can't go to the other part of the store without having your card. You see what I'm saying? And the people that still coming there with their cards, if you leave anything out for a person that has sticky fingers, it's gone. So, like I said, but at the same time, the way that we look at it is, if you do that and we can see it on camera afterwards, bro, we have your card, bro, with all your information. It's like the dumbest thing ever for you to steal out of this area. You know what I'm saying? So, not trying to hold nobody in or do anything like that. I'm just always thinking of a way to, because it's going to eventually come to something where, like they said, you're going to start have everything on lock. They're not going to have. They already trying to make everything automatic. You know what I'm saying? To where you don't have to have a human to do anything for you to do. You just go through a self checkout line. But the crazy part about that is with the items thing, I've seen it in certain places. You always going to have the human come and unlock something or do something like that to restock the product, anything. So you're always going to have a flux of people working inside of a store. Now, the position they're going to be inside the store is going to be the main thing. You know what I'm saying? Now, it's other things that I didn't seen, like them coming in and having machines put product up and stuff like that, which take out the
Hmm.
stalker and everything else, even the unloader, like all that's been taken over by machine. People are still gonna, you know, it's still gonna be some part of society that's gonna be like, oh, we need these people, they need jobs, and they're gonna push it. You know what I'm saying? That's what I believe, bro, because I haven't seen us as a society become whole in anything that we do. That's why we have the problems that we have. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody is divided in their own way. You might think me and you might agree on one thing, but another thing we might disagree on. You know what I'm saying? But we might have 3 more people that the stuff that we agree on, they agree on that stuff with us. So it's weird on how, when it all comes together, that, you know what I'm saying, it's not like we all not like all mind like it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't all have the
Hmm.
same mind, same brain pattern. You know what I'm saying? We all think differently. So I was just saying, that's just a way to prevent somebody from trying to steal. I don't want to have nobody, you know what I'm saying, going inside of a store and keep on robbing a person blind, and they can't do nothing but, like you said, increase their prices, bro, because they can't afford to buy these products to put back in the store because they had all their shit stole out. You know what I'm saying? It makes sense.
So,
So
well, there's a 2 point thing. Like, so what I mean, it's definitely different from like a more local shop where you're able to control a bit more of your inventory. But when you have a large brand that is they're very centric on not only just how they display, because part of the display is all based on how the perception of the store is, but also how the customer is. So let's just be honest. Like, if you walked into a place like Best Buy, right? You have some things that are on the floor, but the major stuff that you're looking for are all behind glass doors. They're caged, things like that. At a retailer that sells like clothing, they don't do that because quite the perception is that nothing is safe and that everything takes time to get.
No, that's a fact. I mean, like I say, a sticky finger person, bro, gonna always have their fingers sticking on something. As
Hmm.
long as your eyes ain't looking, bro, you know what I mean? They gonna do what they gonna do. Yeah, I agree with you, Mayo. There is no 100% solution for it, bro.
Yeah.
I'm just always thinking of preventive ways, bro, because I didn't seen people scam people out of money. Just a sleight of hand was the thing they used to get certain employees, bro. Just hey, I'm gonna give you change for 100, give you a change for 100, slide you. You know what I'm saying? You get, people smart. They know how to slide.
We,
Slide of
we,
hand is a
we call
beast,
them
bro.
we call them quick change artists.
There you go. You know what I'm saying? And then you got other people, bro, that's just, you know what I'm saying, they real good, bro, at misdirection. They know how to point at shit and do shit a certain way and snatch something right up off the counter.
Hmm.
And you won't catch it. You know what I mean? Because you moving so much. You got so many customers coming in. Like, bro, yeah, I get exactly what you're saying. I just think, you know what I'm saying, is there's always, especially with certain things that you do, you know what I'm saying, it might be a hassle for you to try to protect that product, but then like you said, a mass store like Target or Walmart like that, you can't protect everything that's in there.
And
Everything
that
can't be protected. You know what I mean? So
that's
you
one of
gotta
the
just
reasons
pick and
why I like to
choose.
move out of retail. That's one of the main reasons I've always tried to move out of retail because for people in my space, especially when you get to the compliance side, is that you want to set up as many measures and metrics in part to safeguard from loss. But to be honest, it's the company that gets in its own way because you're really fighting against the perception of the company. You can make this place as safe as possible, but you can't protect it from being stolen when it's out and it's being able to just take what you want, walk out the door. That's it. There's not much you can really do about that. So when you have somebody like me, when they're like, well, can't you just put hands on them? Number one, fuck you for saying that I should be able to put hands. Fuck you for thinking that it's okay for you to believe that I should be putting my life at risk for something that's not worth my life. That's first and foremost, right? Just because people who work in safety and security, thank goodness, like I said, I work in compliance, so I don't really have to do that. But let's just say if I had to work in safety and security, the idea that you believe that I am somehow a bouncer, like people don't have weapons and shit, because I'm not allowed to come, I wouldn't be allowed to come to work with weapons on me. These people walking here, they can be concealing anything. They can be concealing a gun, they can be concealing a knife, regardless of what the fuck the door says. And you just believe that I should be putting my life at risk for what? For less than $300? For less than 400? Like less than $1,000? For what? Why would I ever do such a thing? I'm gonna let them walk the fuck out the door. Plain and simple.
That's a fact.
In fact, there's nothing in here that's worth my life. But then you'll turn around and you'll say to people, well, then you should get fired because that's your job. The same way how it's my job as a person who works in compliance to set up policies in place. Because if they have a security department, they misuse them. Instead of, let's just say you have a cashier, right? She gets into a confrontation with a customer. When a person like me, when I see the security guard starts walking up or whatever, or even not even the guard, but when I see security staff walk up, I stop them and I just say, I want to see for a moment what's going on here. And I might even be able to see some of the yelling or hear some of the yelling that's going on. And I'm looking for to see if they follow the actual action steps. Number one, let's just say you're a cashier, you're dealing with a customer. Are you trying to provide customer service? After you cannot provide customer service, did you try calling your manager or your direct supervisor? When the manager or direct supervisor shows up, right? Did they try to manage the situation? If they could not manage the situation, did they call the manager on duty, the one who is either the store manager or the acting store manager? Did they try to handle the situation? After that mofo, who's supposed to be the top level person in charge, at least during that shift, if they cannot manage it, they should be calling security. That's the way it goes. That's the way the policy should be in place. We should be doing everything in our power to customer service first because we want to what? Make sure that the brand is intact. We want to make sure that we give a positive experience to get a resolution. That's not what happens. Here's what happens. The cashier has a problem with the customer. They immediately call security and shit gets escalated from there. That's what happens 9 times out of 10. Later on, land manager, the store or supervisor comes in and they're just like, why didn't you call me? Because that's security. That's what they're for. Da, 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 da. That's not what they're for. Their job is to keep compliance and to make sure that the place is safe so that people are not doing slip and falls or whatever the hell else. Like they're not there to be your personal bouncers. That's not their job. Has anybody walked into a retailer, a clothing store, whatever, and you saw security guards with freaking bulletproof vest on? Of course not. So why do you feel, even as another human being, that you should be putting other human beings at risk? When I say things like this at particular conferences or whatever, people be feeling guilty. Because here's the next thing, that you'll have those same lower level people, like cashiers, like stock workers or whatever. They'll turn around and say, I want to join the security team. And I'm like, why? Weren't you one of the same mofos that try to put them at risk? Why would you now want to join that? What do you think is going to happen to you?